Alright, let's talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie was super mid, and here's why. First off, it's got no substance. It's as shallow as a puddle. The film is essentially just a bunch of cheap cameos and flashy moments with nothing underneath. And once the cameos are revealed, there's little left to the movie. It's like they blew their load on the first viewing. You can't rewatch this film and get the same thrill because it's all about those initial surprises. They wasted the potential for cheap, meaningless fan service. And worst of all, everyone is just accepting this. Since when was fan service more important than story? It's only good by comparison to the MCU's current standards, which are ridiculously low. The bar has been dropped so far that anything slightly above average seems like a masterpiece. But Deadpool and Wolverine just isn't it, it's overhyped. The production design is a complete joke. Almost every set piece is either in a desert or a forest. How boring. There's nothing new, just lazy, uninspired bullshit. The fight scenes are decent enough, except for the fight with Deadpool's variants. For some reason, they take forever to heal, which is just so stupid. Deadpool should heal instantly, so why the delay? Did the writers forget how his powers work, or were they just so desperate to create a flashy fight scene? It's also incredibly ironic. Deadpool makes fun of the multiverse while having more variants than anyone. He mocks the idea of the MCU's multiverse being a bad premise, yet he's in a multiverse film with more random and pointless cameos than any other. Just because you make fun of something doesn't excuse you from criticism. The cliche sacrifice scene at the end is another letdown. It's the most predictable, overdone trope. They try to make it this huge emotional moment, but both characters survive. Also, why the fuck did they survive? Honestly, it's never explained. Deadpool says,
"But you put a Deadpool and a Wolverine together? Make them hold hands while listening to Madonna? Indestructible, motherfucker."
I'm sorry, but what kind of fucking excuse is that? Just because Deadpool makes it funny, the movie thinks it can avoid all logic.
Even if we pull this off, we're dead. Permanently.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Now let's speak about Wolverine's tragic backstory. It's not fleshed out enough for the audience to care, and that makes it fall extremely flat. They could have done so much more to explore his past, but instead it's left as an afterthought. Disappointing for a character that's meant to be deep. And just because Hugh Jackman isn't playing the same Wolverine doesn't change the fact that he went against his word about putting the character to rest.
And as I promised, this next time is going to be my last time of putting on the claws. One last time.
He literally dug up the skeleton for a cheap cash grab. And the TVA, don't even get me started. They took the worst premise the MCU has ever had and decided to run with it. It makes no sense. Remember how angry everyone was when Loki came out? Because the whole idea of the TVA being canon takes away from the Infinity Saga in a massive way. And besides ruining other movies, the idea is so dumb. Like seriously, why do these guys use time sticks? Why not time guns or something more creative? It's so embarrassing. It's no wonder Deadpool kicks the shit out of them. The whole TVA concept is a disaster, adding nothing of value. It's only used as a weak excuse to bring Deadpool into the MCU. Speaking of Deadpool, I'm probably going to get hate for this, but I think he was way too meta in this one. The constant breaking of the fourth wall takes all the stakes out of the movie. It's so obvious we're watching a film when he keeps referencing the real world every 5 minutes.
Huh, all Rudd finally aged.
How can I get invested in this stupid story if it isn't taken seriously? I'll be honest though, I am being very pessimistic here, but I didn't hate all of it. I enjoyed Chris Evans' cameo with Johnny Storm. That was a nice twist. I also enjoyed the soundtrack and the effects were decent. But that's not enough to save the film. Deadpool and Wolverine is a shallow mess wrapped in flashy packaging. And that is why I believe it is extremely mid. Anyway, thanks so damn much for listening to my angry rant. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. And subscribe for much more movie content. As always, don't forget to stay critical. And that's the end of the show.
Stay critical. That's the end of the show. Break it down with the facts, let the people know.